12:18 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, date 7/30/2013. One of the things that we have noticed from the July rally, from the summer rally that it has occurred, is that we're starting to return to normal ranges. And once again, when these names gap up is how we identify those price levels. And once they start to reverse, you can see this gap up. And every gap in Amazon since it's reported its earnings has started to sell. How do we get to the lower lows over here from these highs over here throughout the whole trading range? These were the bounces, but what I'm going to emphasize what the MMT is right here. When we have that opening red bar, when we come down, you can spike right back up, but look at that long, it's 1, 2, 3 teeny drop. And what is a teeny? Well, it just so happens to be 1/16 in our system is 44 cents. Period. When we go back and take a look at that reversal bar, so the distance of this bar right here was $1.72 from the high down to the low. This particular bar was $2.50 from the intraday morning high and its volatility. This particular third bar of the 3-minute, 6-minute, they're not 3-minute bars, 9 minutes. This particular bar was $1.77 until we hit the bottom here. That was on that opening bell. How to identify an opening bell short. When we get back over here, we'll take a look and zoom in on when you would buy the cover to come out of the name to collect your profits and go long the name. And we had a very nice move when this put in that bottom from the sell down. The diamond started to ascend in value right here. And we had that great move straight right back up to the top. Then after we had that intraday move, you have to know when to buy the cover to come out of the short and get long. And it's all intraday, but we can see where that top resistance level was really holding. And we can see that the validation is in this diamond with that teeny drop. 1/16 is always a qualifier in our system as a market maker. But look at where the diamonds are closing on the bottom here. And then we come up 1 teeny. It's only 44 cents per 1/16 in our system. But you have those immediate narrow range prints with a big teeny drop, but look at where the diamonds are and the half bars, and we continue to go lower until we're making this bottom now. This is the bottom. This is the second short of the day. Now going into the closing bell, we can clearly see how this bottom here, we had a 1 teeny move up, but it's still very narrow range. This bottom is very risky for one reason, because the IR is printing 6, 0.56 is going toward 0.64, so it's a weak bottom. How do we establish a weak bottom? It's a different bottom than the bottom that I highlighted over here. This bottom here, you could see where there was some volatility, but you would hold the teenies. That's just how bottoms are put in when volatility increases, and how we expanded. But most importantly is that we were holding the 3-minute half bar values here, and they tested it. But then you had that buy side bar come right back in, bam, 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 till we got up to the highs. So basically, when we're taking a look at directional price movement, you have to know how to establish the strength of this bottom right here. It's weak bottom. And let us not forget, it's about directional price movement and how to verify those price movements, how you break the half bars, how everything that supports the trade. Of course, this supports a short because it's down here at 5. This is 0.55. That's over a half a delta in our system. And a half a delta today is 302.55. And that's exactly worth slightly, below that price. And here's the Amazon, 302.09 by 302.19, 301.57. See that high of 309 and an $8 reversal? Look at when that bull and that high frequency algorithm was on the buy scripts, boy, they just ran them to extreme levels where this would have to happen. Once again, how to sell short, how to sell short opening bell gap, how to buy intraday off of the bottom, and then why would we go a lot lower. It's all right here in the MMT platform. And it tells the story. It tells the story about the price, no matter what. So we have a weak bottom. It's not a place where we are looking at making a big transaction on this particular bottom because that IR is 6. And as I said, when this 057 goes towards 064 and that number, we could come down and easily break that teeny. So intraday buys, intraday sells, how to capture the intraday price movement short, and how to identify bottoms at prices in our system. It's just a weak bottom. Therefore, we would not take this trade yet. Time, 12:24 p.m. Date, 7/30/2013. What's on the calendar? ADP report tomorrow morning. We have the monthly jobless unemployment coming out on Friday. We have a lot of data. We have Mr. Benny going to be talking tomorrow, 2-day FOMC meeting. Let's not forget that the markets are acting what prices should do in equities, and that's both ranges. But how do I short? When we were up here, it started over here. This was yesterday, and you can clearly see when you have these spikes up here at 313, we got a great short on that. He comes up, same pattern, but look at, you're dropping a 16th, 44 cents right away, and then you have the big sell bars taking out all the previous half bars. Bam, and here we were at 307.50 the other day. I'm showing this particular top. This particular top right here was on 726. But we can see the patterns clearly. This particular sell was on 729. Okay? And this particular one, you always have to have an immediate red bar next to the green bar to confirm it. This date right here just so happens to be 729. And then we get over here and we have the same behaviors in price, and that is where equities can enjoy a nice sell down across the board. And Amazon did quite well. It did almost $8. So the total range for the MMT is, you always look for the intraday range right here, 8.21. And look at your $7.53 off of the high, and only 68 cents off of this current low that we identified as being weak. Once again, it's a way for the new MMTs that are going to be participating in price. You're going to have to understand one thing. When you start identifying the price in your platform, you'll be making both of these directional movements. So it's not a one-way movement. They're both playing the price is the role. 309.78 was the high.